Why, hello everyone. Greetings. It's GleeCon, and I'm back again, bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft. And you rock. You rock for clicking to watch this, for tuning in. Everybody out there that has been liking, subscribing, checking out the Patreon. It's really great. You guys are awesome. It's a very rewarding experience. I would do it, and I have. Those of the people that are OGs, I mean, the first year of the show, we went on with subscribers in the single and I can't even say double digits. I think at the end of year one, we had like 20 subscribers. So there's a little part of me and a part of the show which will always, every single subscriber that I get, just feel. Back then, it felt like, weeks might go by and then I'd get one, and it would feel like this new cherished thing. So I love that I create something that some people out there in the world get some joy out of. And what is that thing? Well, it's Lore of Warcraft. We try to cover every little piece of lore in the game, every book, every rare, unearthed gem of print material. And we have a little hiatus that we're going to be doing on the print material right now because there is an in-game object that's a bit tough to find. So I either have to go on a mission for it. I've talked about that on a previous episode, or I'm going to have to, or we're going to wait. I'm leaning towards waiting right now. It'll be about a month or so where we're just hitting up the main gameplay. So we just finished Blackfathom Deeps and Ashenvale proper as a horde last time. And now we're going to do the same experience, beginning with Ashenvale as Alliance. So stay a while and listen. Let's open up the spreadsheet and just see where we're at with that. So back to, I've been working on Arathi Highlands. I didn't get a lot done yesterday because it was just so much, just darn. Oh, I forgot. I was going to try and. So yesterday there were major issues with Questy. I hope there's a new update for Questy. Oh, she's about to hit level 33 also. She needs like literally 1,000 XP. But she just finished Duskwood last time. Anyway, yeah, so what is this thing? A light bulb?
I can't use that.
Weird. Maybe that's a priest move. Anyway, so yeah, major issues with Questy where Questy was essentially down. There is a fix that people posted, but you had to go into the .lua file
specific I can help you find.
within the game itself. We have all these neat things to sell. I'm going to save that iridescent pearl. Tomb dust I can sell. These are... Oh, I don't need the translated letter from the embalmer anymore. Excusez-moi. Alright, so I have some metal, but really not enough that I'm going to waste my time doing anything with it. We are probably in a situation where we need to do some fishing. Well, we are about to be when we level up. Okay, so let's just look. What we're going to do is look for quests into Ashenvale first and foremost, and that's going to dictate where we kind of fly. Alright, so there is Twilight Falls. I don't even know where you would get that. Now, that's for when we do Blackfathom Deep, so we are going to eventually have to go up there, but we can wait until we're in Darnassus for that. But what is Twilight Falls? I guess let's, again, look at this overall spreadsheet. I don't know that I see Twilight Falls. Let's just double check and find out where that quest wants us to be. It is... Yeah, it's also a Blackfathom Deeps quest. So I don't know why. I guess I could have looked at the dang spreadsheet like that. Yeah, there you go. Twilight Falls. So we have to go there when we want to do that, but I'm not that worried about that yet. So then that just leaves my two other places. Let's look. We have a quest. That's Cast Pipe's task. So these are all Nomergon quests. Desolus. way higher level. That's also Knowledge in the Deeps. That is Black Fathom Deeps, and I don't want to have to come back here. So maybe we pick that up before we head over there. I mean, in general, we've got to head over there, period. So we are going to need to go to Menethil or wherever. Or we can fly down over to Booty Bay. That's just a little bit of Malon's request. That's a Wrathy. I just did that one, actually. It's just a breadcrumb. Pink Master Overspar. Basil Thread. That's Stockades. Bam, that's Wrathy, actually. That's South Shore Chain. Wrathy. Stocks. Okay, so... I'll take a portal for Darnassus too, but we'll just go there. It's not the end of the world. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it is what it is. So you have two options whenever you want to go out to Ashenvale. We can go to Darnassus. We can go by way of Darnassus, which means we have to go by way of Menethil Harbor. Or we can go by way of Ratchet, which means that you're going to have to go by way of Booty Bay. So we can basically fly down to Stranglethorn Vale, then take the boat over to Booty Bay to Ratchet, and then fly, which that would be good if what I wanted to do was get down and dirty, and that would let us get right into Ashenvale right away. But if we go this way, oh, we have I need to go to a mailbox too, because I put that armor up for some gold, 10 gold or something like that. We're gonna see if it's sold. Maybe so, maybe not. I have some things to sell on my mage. I got a couple interesting find them and equip items. So I've been questing in Stromgarde in Arathi Highlands the past couple days, and it's just so slow going because nothing's like crazy hard, but it's all elites that I can't handle fighting more than one or two of them at a time. My characters are level 44. My dry run characters that I use. There's a mailbox right here on the way. Right now what I'm doing is going to the gnome. I just passed it. That stinks. Well, at least I can hit this mailbox up. Oh, look, somebody's right there too. But I did just pass the... Okay, so I did not gain... Nobody bought that thing. So I'm just gonna sell it.
What can I do? I sell only the best
I'm
tested and true. And the prices are set, so if you want
kind of lazy when it comes to that. I'm just gonna... I already lost some money by posting it. You pay to post on the auction house, and now I just sold that for 30 silver, so whatever. Nobody wanted it. It was a pure defensive bind on equip blue. That's less... I mean, sure, it's popular. I'm sure it's not any kind of best in slot thing. Alright, but yeah, so Stromgarde is just a pain in the butt. So the other option, the one that we're going to do, since we're doing it this way, then we're going to get all of our Black Fathom Deeps quests picked up right now. We're going to pick up this one in Ironforge, and then we're going to fly to Wetlands, and then we'll take the boat over to Darnassus, Darkshore, wherever it takes us. And since we're going to be right there, we'll go pick up our other Darkshore quests as well, because we're only just about to hit 33, so we're not going to need to visit for a little while any of these capitals. And if we do, we do. We level up, we level up. But, like I said before, I'm actually a little bit worried about our ability to get to 39 by the end of Thousand Needles. It's possible that we can, but I would say we are probably going to have to kind of layer in doing Nomergon and Razorfen Crawl to have a real chance of getting there. Normally I would do those after Thousand Needles, but because of the way we're doing the show, we don't have to be as slavish about that as I did when I did the stuff offline. So if we're within a couple levels of it, I would consider doing those instead. One of the downsides about what's going on right now is I notice I have Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer, and we're going to be wasting the majority of that buff traveling over to Ashenvale. Now, Ashenvale, as a horde, it wasn't that long. As an alliance, it actually looks like it's a longer zone. Now, it still took us 4 episodes to do it as horde, but that was mostly because we spent an entire episode grinding out the lost pages, which that's not a problem we're going to have here. We are not going to have to... Now, I could turn that in, but I'm kind of saving it for a while. It's just going to sit in my inventory. It's not really hurting anything. It's just taking up an inventory slot. A quest log slot. So, yeah, we are making great progress. After this, she's obviously going to hit 33. I think there's a big chance she'll hit level 34, maybe even 35, in the course of doing all of Ashenvale. So let's just say she's 35 and change by the time she finishes Black Fathom Deeps. Let's just go out on a limb. It might be more than that. I don't know. Alright, here is Knowledge in the Deeps.
As you might know, I collect lore. Oh, lore. Powerful lore. Lore that opens doorways, and lore that can awaken those who sleep. There are rumors of an old piece of lore, the Lorgalis manuscript at the bottom of Black Fathom Deeps in Ashenvale. That place is the old dwelling of long-dead elves. Elves who held great knowledge before their city fell to ruin. Search Black Fathom Deeps for the manuscript. Do this, and I will not forget it. Not even after the end days.
I don't know if he's like a Twilight's Hammer guy or what he means by that. I also don't remember where the Lorgalis manuscript is. It says at the bottom. I kind of feel like somebody has it, but I don't remember. If we look at the map of Ashenvale, it shows us that it's at the dungeon, but you can hover over and see it is in a pitted iron chest. So, oh, you know what? I think it's in that first little entry zone. I think it's a little book in a chest underneath the water. Now that I recall, I'm fairly certain that's where it is. So that's our first Black Fathom Deeps quest. I'll mark that in a mo when when we're on the flight path. Yeah, so the Rathi Highlands it's got some really cool lore. It's a fun zone, but it is
How are the Wildhammer dwarves might have fast steeds, but can those airy peaked
not a far
stand the heat
flight.
of the Great Forge?
Can they stand the heat of the Great Forge? Alright, so right now we have nothing picked up for Ashenvale. If I look at my greater, I don't see any, like we can go right out there. So there's nothing really causing me an issue. But if we go to Black Fathom Deeps here, we just picked up the Lorgalis manuscript, or what's it called? Knowledge in the Deeps. So that's the lowest Alliance level quest, and it was pretty low. Oh, we need to add. I don't like that. So now I want to put this here. Okay, and then we can just copy and get these colors off here. Because I don't know how far it's going to take us. All right, so we picked up the Knowledge in the Deeps. That's just, we're not going to be doing that, not for a few days, but just something to take care of. I did do a Black Fathom Deeps run with you guys yesterday. It was actually a pretty fine run. I acted as a healer. Team got a little fuss But it happens with pugs. But, I mean, it was a smooth, successful run. Nobody died. All quests were completed. And then at the end, just everybody immediately bounced, like retail style. And then that created fussiness. I got fussed at a little bit. Well, it wasn't really major fussing, but I did get kind of quipped at for healing, where they asked me if I guess I was being kind of a little lax on the healing. But again, nobody died. But my specs, my healing specs on my shaman, I don't have the talents in there yet. So I think I was just basically working with stock heals, no talents boosted. Now I want to say it's this top dock that can take us out to Darnassus, but I don't. There's a boat coming in, so I'm going to have to hopefully be right. Don't remember. One of them takes us to Duskwallow Marsh. One, I might be wrong, and that might be the boat that we are now missing. And if so, that's okay, because what we'll do is we'll do some of our fishing. We might have time to hit up both, get back there before it pulls off. Where's the guy that tells us which boat this is? Him.
How are you? This dock here?
Yeah.
Well, you can catch
This
the
is where
ship
we
that
want to
goes
go.
That night elf place. What's its name?
I mean, we can
Auberdine,
still
I think.
do some fishing.
I don't
Why
really
not?
know for sure. I just
Because
load
we're
and unload
literally
stuff.
about to have to do it, so let's get some fishing on. But anyway, yeah, so it was not the best, most friendly run, but it was fine. People just... I don't know. The pug experience is usually tepid at best. Uh-oh. Bye-bye, bobber. I mean, I'm glad the boat's here, but we didn't get a lot of casting in. I'm gonna go fish off the side of the boat while I wait for it to leave. We did get a helmet at the end of the chains in Darkshire. Duskwood, I mean. The Spark Metal Coif. I'm pretty happy about overall where we're at with our gear. Can't really complain. Morning server. Yeah, so this will take us to Auberdine, which means we're still going to have to further fly over to Darnassus after this, because since we're all the way up here, why not? And this is the zone, the wetlands, that we're going to be coming to next. It's an alliance-only zone, and it will be capped off with a stockades run as well. So I'm not really worried at all about Lee Contessa's ability to get to 39. I'm a lot more bullish on that because, like I said, she's going to get to 33 right now. Strong chance she'll be 34 to 35. Bye, bobber. It's going to break. Yeah. We will wait and fish in Ashenvale. We can fish like right in Auberdine or whatever it's called. Not Auberdine. Astronar. We can fish right in Astronar. We got one of our 5 points. But yeah, so I think she can easily get to 34. I think a solid chance by the time I finish the Black Fathom Deeps quest in the zone, she'll be 35. Then I'll do wetlands, which I would imagine I would get to at least around 36 doing wetlands. And then I would imagine you throw stockades in the quest lines that go with it. We're going to be pretty darn close to 37 by the end of all that. And then she'll still get to run the Thousand Needle Shimmering Flats quest line. That's pretty solid. 38. Grinding out there. And then you take, if the quest was working. Yeah, so I don't know if they've fixed Questy, so I'll talk about that in just a sec, because we still have plenty of traveling to do. Alright, so we made it here. I could go to the other boat, but it's leaving right now, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the flight path instead, the free flight, free ferry. This is the pain. It's significantly more annoying. It's always annoying to change continents, but it is significantly more so if you are Alliance. Which is why I would say more than anything else, what makes the experience enjoyable if you're doing a full completionist run. Oh, here we have another quest. Researching the corruption. We can pick this up right while we're here. How did I miss that bad boy? Okay, so researching the corruption. And then, yeah. Alright, so we'll pick that one up too. Glad I noticed it. And then we'll mark that up on the flight path. So this dude, who I think is like a leader of Auberdine, he'll give it to you. He's living in this little gazebo. Or he's a hobo.
Foolish blood elves toil with demonic magic. Have they not witnessed what happened with the Naga and with the satyrs of Kalimdor? I fear that the blood elves will meet a similar deformation. Azeroth cannot afford to give birth to another vile race of monsters. I wish to study the brain stems of the satyr and Naga so that I might deduce what fate the elves are headed toward. In Blackfathom Deeps, on the coast of Ashenvale, you will find both satyr and Naga. 'Tis a long journey, adventurer.
I mean, it is. To walk down Darkshore, I agree. It is a long journey. That quest is not hard because the place is full of Naga, and it's like pretty much 100% drop rate. Very easy, even if the full party has it, and if nothing else, you could grind it out in the entrance at the end. So that is a
Hello. The
easy,
hippogriff
low
is a
risk.
noble beast, proud and swift.
So we got researching corruption. Cool. We're just Oopsie. We're just prepping for this. Okay. Well, we're gonna get a couple more too. Well, we're gonna get one more, right? Because we're gonna pick up In Search of Thailrid and Twilight Falls. So we are gonna pick up two more right now. And I'll just we'll pre-spreadsheet them up. So that In Search of Thailrid is the quest that we did the corpse run for with our Horde character. And actually, I shared that quest with everybody, and no props. I'm still a little salty about that. That quest is so annoying and hard to get that I can guarantee you 99.99% of players do not get that quest if you're Horde. I've only gotten it one other time because I didn't even know it was a thing. I was scanning the maps overall when I'm doing questy. I typically tend to do that. When I noticed a quest sitting on Darnassus and had researched, is this a thing, to learn, oh my, it is. So the fact that nobody gave two farts, that just made the completionist inside my body just cried a little bit. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about this breadcrumb worth like no XP and like 5 Argent Dawn rep. And it's not even a required, it doesn't even help you get a chain, because you can get the next step without it. So I just think it's weird. What they should have done is, there's just little things like that. They should have taken those quests out of the game. They should have somehow flagged them. It's all about quest giver status, and this is a major thing in Classic, and I would imagine they've fixed a lot of this. But I don't know what I'm going to do for the War Within. I really don't know how I'm going to tackle playing that game. If I'm going to wait and just do it in a couple years with you guys, by then I'll be so far behind. I just really, truly don't know
Many rumors circulate these
How I'm
days
approaching.
about the union of the Twilight's Hammer and the Naga in Black Fathom Deeps on the coasts of Ashenvale. My role here with the Argent Dawn is to collect as much information as I can so we know when and where help is needed. It has been weeks now since I sent a scout to check on the activity at Black Fathom Deeps. Argent Guard Thaelrid has not yet reported back. My other scouts are preoccupied with pressing matters. Seek out and aid Thaelrid for me, adventurer.
Okay, I will.
Empowered by the ancient rites of the chaotic old gods, the members of the Twilight's Hammer strive to bring about the return of their dark patrons and spread death and terror across the world. We believe that the Twilight's Hammer has allied with the Naga and are amassing in Black Fathom Deeps on the coast of Ashenvale. Whatever evil plan brews in the depths of the old temple must be thwarted. Wage war on the Hammer and bring back proof of your deeds. Your efforts will be rewarded handsomely.
I think the problem with that I don't remember ever having an issue with any of these quests. But if there is an issue with that quest, I would imagine it's because compared to the other mobs, the Twilight's Hammer, there are less of them because they only appear really in the back, like 1/3 of the dungeon. Unless, let's look at the, so, see that just says corrupted brain stems. Now, Twilight Pendant, yeah, the Twilight blah 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 blah. So it only does drop off the Twilight's Hammer people. Now, maybe if it's 100% drop rate, but if with 10 needed, let's say every single person in the party had it, that's 50. I don't think there are 50 Twilight Hammer mobs in that run. Maybe. I mean, you'd have to kill every single one. So, oh well. Alright, now we're going to go on the flight path, and we're finally going to fly back to Astronar and begin our run. We'll do a little fishing when we get there. So this was a real setup part of our episode, and then hopefully we get a lot of like smooth flowing quests
to maintain our
as we
link to the
move
mainland,
forward.
we have hippogriffs constantly flying between Rutheran Village and Darkshore.
Let's see what we have on the quest, just on the docket. So going out to the Zoram Strand is going to be part of it. There's all of these are lower level quests, much like with the Horde, are on this side. The Orem's hair and all that's Bathran's hair. That's all on this. So what we will probably do is we will hit these quests up in Astronar, and these are the highest level quests in the zone, and they actually send you, I don't even remember what the Howling Veil tells you to do. That might be like down here where the evil demons are. But anyway, those will save till the end because they're going to send you to the Satyr area, and over here, yeah, the Satyrs is... While, oh, that lady, we have to go talk to her. So we'll pick those up on the way, but we're not going to be doing them yet. Or maybe that's the Howling Veil. We'll come up and get the Maestra's Post. That's some easy low-level quests. We can come work our way through here. We'll get this. We'll get the Zoram Strand. We'll get all that stuff. Kill Naga. And that, hopefully, that we can accomplish that chunk today. And then this is the Timber Maw. Furbolg. I don't know that we spend as much time like the Horde. We don't have the escort. We have a little bit to kill in the lake as we did on the other one, but there's no quest to... There's no drop quest from Tidris. That's the PvP area, so we don't care about that. And as of right now, we just have this guy way out here. So when we go to kill the Satyr, when we have to do that part of the map, We will fight that guy. We got to be careful because this is all walking by Splinter Tree Post and everything. So for now, Raine's Cleansing is a very long quest chain. Eventually, I think this one will culminate in fighting some of the Barrow stuff. This zone is definitely harder if you're Alliance. And as you saw, significantly more quests. Because the Raine's Cleansing is a whole chain that's pretty long. That really doubles the amount of quests compared to the other. And like this whole Scythe of Elune, that's another quest chain also. So all the rest of the stuff is pretty small, but it's the fact that it includes 2 quest chains that gives us so much extra on the quest log. I still think if we really are aggressive, we can bust this out. We had bad luck make us make that other episode take 4, I mean. Whereas I don't think it's out of the question that this could be completed in 3 episodes. Definitely won't be 2 because there is some baked into that. If you look, when we were looking at this list, baked into this is some traveling to Booty Bay and stuff like that. So all of that just adds time. That just drains minutes of our lives. And it's passive minutes. It's not that I love the fact that the world is so big and, you know, you put a target on your back if you dare criticize Classic for anything, but there are parts of retail that are good. There are innovations that were made to this game that are good. Progress is a good thing. You don't have to just be member berries all the time. There are things I really like. I like the fact that you can have weapon skill that makes you feel like you could train your different weapons, and I kind of like that. That's one of the things I miss the most. The skill trees are neat. The new skill trees are giant and robust. I don't dislike them. I think they're kind of cool too. And they actually provide more flexibility and freedom, although I don't know that I love that you get 2 separate trees. Alright, before we even start picking up quests, let's just finish the fishing. We need 4 more points. We got 1 while we were there. So, Ashranar, yeah, we should get some decent fishing. We have no recipes that we can do anything with right now. Tangy, gooey spider meat, tangy clam meat, and lean wolf flanks. I can make a chili crab later, so hopefully we'll get some here. No fish, we have no fish recipes. But we'll get this fishing taken care of. Also, you know what we should have done? We need to do the level 31 quest chain, so any type of traveling, I'll try to squeeze that into this episode also. We will have some walking and stuff, so I'll just keep that up in the background, not while we're fishing, because that will make us that I do that a lot, and what it does is extends your time that you'll spend fishing, because you'll miss the stupid things all the time. You'll miss every now and then you'll get a bobber that pops up after like 5 seconds. It's rare, but it does happen, and then all of a sudden you've just missed your click and you're waiting, because just as often, if not more so, you have to wait the whole 30 seconds or 27 seconds of it or something like that. Okay, 3 points to go. Yeah, what is it? It's around, I think it's 30-second cast time. And there are actual apps, or mods I mean, that you can use to mess with the fishing if you want. So there is something that is called one-click fishing. Basically, it makes it to where you don't have to click fish and loot. When you click loot, you click to loot, and then you can just leave your cursor and just click the cursor again, and you'll fish. So if you don't want to do this each time, you can get a mod for that, but they can't get me a clam opening mod. There's actually multiple, and so some of them also contain modified timers. So LVUI has this timer built in, which I think is helpful, because without a timer, you're you're just kind of going blind and you're just going on your gut. Ooh, this feels like it's been sitting in there a while kind of thing. But in the modified, in the mods, they will also have these like bars set off on your bar. Will show like it's mathematically impossible in the first like 3 seconds, let's say, or the final 3 seconds, or maybe it's 5 seconds. I can't remember, but it's excuse me. It's mathematically impossible for you to get a bite on your line in those windows. So I don't know. It basically you won't have to pay attention. It just helps you because fishing takes a long time. Truly does. And I guess if you're really doing like Stranglethorn fishing competitions, which we are going to compete in, I think it would be really cool if we could win that. I've never won that. Not in retail, not in classic. I think it would be cool if we can do that. And I believe there are some pretty interesting pieces of gear you can get from it. Now, if there's a quest tied to it, I think we'll give it a go. But I'm not going to, like, I don't know how much, because it's only once a week, I think. So we'll time it out. Same thing, towards the end of our run, we'll also do some Dark Moon Fair quests when they pop up. Like, I think right now is the Dark Moon Fair, or it starts tomorrow, or something. I don't know. Dark Moon Fair is coming up, if not on right now. 1 point left. All right. We're just pre-doing the fishing for when we hit level 33 here in just a moment. When we hit 33, we'll also for 33 and 34, we're trying to get to 25 retribution talents. So we're going to give ourselves 2 more points in the Seal of the Crusader. I don't know that I might give myself an improved devotion aura, but I don't really use that very much. For now, I don't really have to look at it because I've kind of memorized the tree. I also think we need a sanctity aura. I should look at that. I don't remember if I need that too. We might need it. So that actually might be what I want to spend next on. Let's check up that. Classic. I'm going to miss my cast. I'm just going to recast when I get there. Okay, so this is classic. We do want this. I see. So what I have done is... Oh, I like this one better. So this is normal, but this is hit capped. I like to pretend that I'm playing with the hit cap build anyway. The non-hit cap build would give you protection, and then they give you this talent over here, which increases your chance to hit by 3 points. I don't care. I mean, that's nice, and obviously it works, but I like to go off of the hit capped assumption, because then you can work towards hit cap without a respec. I do need this, actually. I need to do that next. Then I can get my other Seal of the Crusader point, which will open this, it'll open this, and then I can fill in my last point there. And then we'll come back to all of this tree. 5, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Boom. So we're going to skip all of protection. And then when we come back here, we'll do the 5 points of divine strength. We'll do the 5 points of... Yeah. I mean, actually, who cares about the spiritual focus? That is nice, I guess, but I don't care about that. So I would then, yeah, give 5 more points to divine intellect, which will then open up consecration. So let's see what we have here. Alright, so we are level 33, and we're going to pick up Sanctity Aura right now, which that means we're going to switch off. I'm not going to do Ret Aura anymore. We're going to switch over. Okay, we got our points. Alright. And we'll play around with just keeping Sanctity Aura rocking at all times. But let's explore Astronar now. So we'll start by talking to... That's the flight path, Delicia. And here is Shendril Swiftfire.
What brings you here?
We elves have a long history. Let us hope this history does not return to haunt us.
There is evil lurking on our northwestern coast, known as the Zoram Strand. It is the resting place of the doomed city of Zoram, destroyed during the Sundering and submerged beneath the seas. It has been lost to the Night Elves for ages, lost and nearly forgotten. Now the Naga have returned, and for what reason we do not know, but reason matters little. We must slay these fiends and throw them back to the depths. Return to me when your mission is complete.
Okay. Caneth
The
Stillwind.
druid Caneth Stillwind sent word to me. He would like a report of the happenings along our coast and in the forests surrounding Astranar. He fears there is a corruption moving through Ashenvale, and he may be right. Here, take my report to him. You will find him in the Shrine of Forest Song, in the Night Song Woods to the east.
So he is that guy way over there. So now we have a breadcrumb that would take us out to this small little quest chain. All right, we will read the report that we'll give him in a moment. There are reagents here. This is a nice place where you can buy reagents. We don't really need a lot because the only reagent we use as a paladin is a symbol of divinity at this point. But if you're a mage, that likes to portal, can be useful. Okay, so there's Sentinel Thenisil. Nothing for her right now. Here's Tandon Lightmane. He's a repair seller. And here is
Hello.
Aelin, who is a clothier. Couple little repair shops downstairs. Upstairs, there are some apples. And there's this dude, Larden, who is leatherworking supplies, has a pattern for barbaric leggings, and there's a couple books up there, if that's your thing. Which it will be our thing on some of these other books. We will be, on these lore missions. Okay, in here there's Fildrith Goth Shale. Don't have anything for him yet. And then here's our typical night elf bazaar. They like to have. Here's tools and supplies from Faron Silent Blade. Oh, he's like a rogue. And Rain Wolfrunner
I know these
has
forests
some
as
quests
if they were
for
a part
us.
of me, but know that there is still much to be learned from them and much danger still hidden.
Before we pick hers up, we need Zoram Strand and Caneth Stillwind. Okay, so the Zoram Strand is the lowest level quest in the zone. So now we are going to start there. Boom, we picked that one up. And actually before this, we need to stretch our legs out here. Okay, and then we picked up, what was the guy's name? Caneth Stillwind. There he is. So that's later because that will lead us into kind of one of the later quest chains in this area. Rain's Cleansing.
Adventurer, a longtime friend of mine, is also aiding the Sentinels here in Ashenvale, but he has yet to return. He had leads on finding an item that he thought could slow the Furbolg attacks on our people. A rod created by a now-dead evil wizard. Before he left here, he mentioned seeking out a gem for the rod. He mentioned the gem possibly being hidden at the shrine in Lake Falathim at the base of the mountain to the west. The gem was being held there before it was overrun. Find my friend, adventurer, please.
Okay, and Culling the Threat.
Directly to the north of Astranar are the Thistlefur Furbolg.
Get more of
My
these.
scouts report that their numbers have grown greatly over the past few months. If they grow too great, they may find the courage to attack Astranar directly. Kill as many of their kind as you can, but bring me their chieftain's skull as proof that their efforts have been stifled for now. I shall remain here in Astranar and await word from you. Elune be with you.
Alright, so Rain's Cleansing Part 1 and Culling the Threat we've now also picked up. So next, second lowest area is a quest or whatever. Cool. And that we actually saw that, what's the other one called? Culling the Threat. We actually saw this Furbolg kind of running around when we did our escort out and killed Furbolgs. He is a named guy. She has a little wolf pet. Here's
Free to browse.
Malien, who you can buy some drinks and stuff from her. There's also a baker over here, Nantar. Sounds like he should be like a Moby Dick character. Here's the leader, the innkeeper, if you are
Your
wanting
body
to
looks
set your
worn
hearthstone.
and your spirit weary. Rest yourself beneath our roof and
Kim-
allow Elune
Kim
to
Laya.
guide your dreams.
And then upstairs are the beds. If you need to take a nappy poo. Okay, across the way is the other large building. There are typically... Oh, this is your one... If you want to cook in it, there's your cooking fire. So if you need to get your cook on, get your cook on. I need to sell these stupid fish, speaking of. But I'm hoping to see if there's a recipe in here first. Alright, this is the general goods vendor. Do you have anything for me, sir? No. Halgen Oakheart is useless. Okay, here is Dalaria, the trade goods vendor. What do you have for me, Dalaria? She has a minor agility to cloak enchantment. That does not help me. And here is Zyander, the weaponsmith. Cool, bro. And here's an expert leather worker. She's a trainer. I'm gonna sell my fish.
In return, it is our responsibility to safeguard these forests from the demonic taint that the Horde always brings with it.
You gotta safeguard against the taint. I do get it. Out front there is Maloresian, the stable master. There's another Astronaut Sentinel. And there's a little house over here. There's a little dock back there if you prefer to fish out there. Here's the little house with the creepy quest that we've done in the past. This guy is the weird Pelturus Whitemoon and his daughter Relara Whitemoon. We'll mess with them later. Alright. We'll fox with them later, but not right now. Okay, so we could go up and get him, but I don't actually want to. We're going to make our journey over. So first let's look at this. We can't read Shindel's note. So instead, as we walk, let's look at these quests I've been neglecting. So we've done all the 30s. We're now 32, and I believe our other character, Gleek and Soul, I can't see what level she's at right now, but she's in the same ballpark, 32, 33, somewhere around there. So, no druid, no hunter, no mage until 35, no paladin until 40, no priest until 50. Rogue, we are set until 50. Shaman, we did the 30. We're set until 50 now. So they really dropped off on the quest class support. This chain we have to look at for 31, and then, again, warriors are even 50. So we just, I want to look at this warlock chain that begins with In Search of Minara Voidrender. I actually had someone asking about this quest in chat the other day. Not asking me, just asking the world. Alright, so this is an annoying quest line if you are a warlock. We're heading down in here to pick up these two high-level quests. Actually, let me make sure I won't be getting a breadcrumb out from our way. Like, let's see. Okay, so let's look at Vile Satyr, Dryads in Danger. Yeah. Okay, so sometimes if you go down to the end, there'll be related quests. Alright, so her name is Anelia. So if we actually click her, you can find out what quests are tied to her. If Questy is down for you, this is basically the research node. This is what you'll have to do. I am a little bit concerned. I don't think, but I wonder, because what you don't want to do is shut yourself out of a breadcrumb. Wow, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, I'll try it again. Sometimes... Oh, maybe the Anelia is the end person. She's the one it's her that we want to look at. So she is... The branch of Cenarius ends the quest for her. Branch of Cenarius is the one that starts, so there and back. Okay, cool. So that one's fine. And the other... Sentinel, Malaria, Frost Shadow. So none of those are fine. I mean, which one does she do? Let's look at the other. The Howling Vale. So we will look at the Howling Vale quest. Just to make sure, because I don't want to, I would hate to ruin a breadcrumb for us. Okay, so that gets us quite a big quest chain. And what we want to do is look at, there's 9 quests, we don't want any of these really. So she starts those 2. She only ends 1. Howling Vale, there and back. Okay. And then she'll give you the Linda Starr song. Go to the Howling Vale and study such and such a tome. Okay. I think we're good. All right, so that provides me peace of mind. I don't think there's any breadcrumbs. I think you just kind of have to explore this little shrine out here. All right, so In Search of Manara Voidrender has both Horde and Alliance versions. We will look at both. Okay, and just see. There's actually 4 versions of each. So let's also look at, we're just going to look at the differences in the types. We'll just open and compare in just a moment as we run around. But first, let's also pick up these quests. So here's the Howling Vale. There's a couple. There's Lilin Dark River. She doesn't. I don't know what she has.
Though we've put many resources and much effort into driving the remaining demons from the Fellwood to the north, our successes have been few. We have been able to keep much of the demonic presence from Ashenvale. To the north, near the Fellwood border, the ruined shrine of Melthandris has been overtaken by mysterious wolfmen. Their chilling calls have led the area to be known as the Howling Vale. The tome of Melthandris kept at the shrine may shed some light on why these wolfmen have come.
So I was wrong. Howling Vale is up here. Tiny little area right there where the Worgen are. Okay. So we have the Howling Vale. We will also have Ileana right here.
Ah, the great outdoors.
Listen, I don't know who you are, but I need your help. My sisters went to take back the branch of Cenarius from the satyr. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been 2 whole days. Leek and Dessa, you have to find them. They were looking for the ruins of a night elf temple in Xavian to the northeast. I don't know what to think. Look for Anelia. She was leading them on the search. Okay, so we just picked up the Howling Vale and Vile Satyr Dryads in Danger. Okay, so that's going to be near the bottom. We picked up the Howling Vale. These are harder level quests. Whoopsie. And we picked up Vile Satyr, Dryads in Danger, which are the hardest of the Ashenvale quests. Okay, now we're going to pop out and go up to this little Maestra's post. Meanwhile, let's look at these quests right here. Okay, so for the Alliance, it says, hello, you're progressing well in your training. So well, in fact, that I think you should be rewarded for your hard work. Now, this is if you pick this up in Ironforge from the little gnome, and for not becoming corrupted by the arcane yet. Good job. If you're interested, seek out Manara Voidrender and Ratchet. She's currently staying at Strahad Farson's tower, overlooking the town. She's not very friendly, so don't expect any praise, but if you work hard, she'll make sure you're taken care of. Okay. Now, if you pick it up instead from the warlock guy in Demiset Cloyce in Stormwind, she'll say, let us be clear about one thing. I don't feel you're ready for such responsibilities. I don't think aiding in the creation of any item of power is something a novice should ever be involved in, especially one so untested. But that's not my decision. The powers that be, or at least the ones that do wish to impart such gifts upon you, get to decide that. If you're interested in learning more, I suggest you seek out Manara Voidrender and Ratchet. She usually resides in the tower above the port town. Okay, now if you go to Orgrimmar and pick this up from an orc Zevrost... I fell off. It's alright, we're going down here anyway. He says, you strive to become more powerful. I say it's only time before the corruption and addiction takes hold of you and you become a slave to that which you seek to gain power over. A fool you are. Time will prove me right, nothing else, just time. But it seems that not all agree with Zevrost. It seems Minara would create tools for you to become more powerful and to harness your strength. If you're interested, then go to Ratchet the Barrens. She's there overlooking the tavern. Alright, we'll come back to that in a minute because we have a couple quests we can pick up ourselves.
Delgrin has asked me to deliver messages and supplies to Sentinel Starbreeze in Auberdine, but I am loath to leave on my own. Dangerous foes operate in the forest, and I do not wish to risk letting these supplies and information fall into the wrong hands. If you and others could act as my guards, I could leave now. With your protection, I have no doubt that we can see these goods safely to Auberdine.
Alright, so we gotta pause. We gotta do this. We must move quickly. Auberdine isn't too far from here, he says. Isn't too far away, but many enemies lurk in the forest. Alright, we'll be back. I think you actually turn this quest in Auberdine. This is a quest called Supplies to Auberdine. This is a hard escort quest. I've failed this one quite a few times. Well, it says you're supposed to go back to Maestro's post to turn it in, so this is cool. He says ask for friends, and he's not a crazy idea to try to get friends on this. Do I have any buffs I can do? No, that's 30 seconds. Not really. I can use the Soothing Balm. I can heal him and use the Soothing Balm. What we need to do is try to aggro on as much of these guys as possible for ourselves. Looks like we're in trouble. Okay. Okay, what we have to do is try to aggro on as many as we can. We just don't want our buddy to get hurt. Now I think with him fighting... Oh, we gotta fight this guy too. Okay, that guy's running off. See... I heard a sound. Don't know what that was all about, but even that, just fighting 1v1, he almost died. Okay, so we pulled it off. I can heal myself. Assassins from that coat you found. Let's get moving before someone else finds us here. Alright, so I don't know if he would heal himself. I'm not sure. But as you just saw right there, now there are 3 parts to fight. That one was, there was 4 dudes we had to fight there. There is another part, I believe, where we fight Forsaken. And then at the end you have to fight the satyrs. The problem is that we've got to get all these guys, you have to aggro them all. That's the key. So if you have an AoE way, like if I had Consecrate, this would be great. I don't have that. You can heal him. So I guess if you're worried, throw a flash of light or something on him, or you could even... Hold, I sense an evil presence. Undead. Okay, so... Cool. There's a 3rd one coming. Okay. Now that I've aggroed these 3, we should be okay. See, his damage is very minimal. So that one's not hard. Cool. We got that. They're coming out of the woodwork today. Let's keep moving. We may find all things that want me dead. Now the 3rd one at their end, I think there's only 3 pieces here. I think it's Satyr that come up, and I think they have ranged attacks, and I think that's the problem. Maybe I could bubble him or whatever if I need. Possible. But that's risky. I'd prefer not to. I know we can heal him. We did target that. But I kind of think at the end you get the Satyr, and the problem with them is they will start targeting him with like magic or whatever. So you really, really, really gotta do your best to go after, aggro everybody as fast as possible. That's why I'm kind of leading him a little bit on this one, because they kind of spawn a little further down the path. This is the part where I usually fail. Okay. These three again. Yeah. So I did manage to get him. One of them just healed. Okay. So if you kind of do what I just did and lead him a little bit, that is my suggestion for success. And oh, they've got names. Katakar the Vicious. Well done. I should be fine on my own from here. Remember to talk to Delgrim when you return to Maester's Post in Ashenvale. Alright, so there's Balazar the Umbrage, Katakar the Vicious, and Alagar the Tormentor. So those three named centaurs. The problem is if you don't run up there and aggro them right away, they will basically insta-kill him with those lightning shots. So not that hard if you can handle aggro. Obviously the guys weren't that hard, especially for someone at level 32, but we'll go back. So as we walk back now, let's look at the rest of our quest. So let's say you instead went to the Undead to pick this quest up. Warlock, yes, it's you. Yes, you. You don't have all the accoutrements, but it's plain to see you're ready. The air around you exudes greater confidence. Yes, I see it now. Minara Voidrender would teach you a few things if you feel you're ready. She spends her time tutoring young students in the arcane. She even gives gifts to those who pass her tests. Go to Ratchet and the Barrens if you're interested. She's above the city in Strahad's Tower. Now, what are the turn-in? Well, if you turn in the gnome version, Briarthorn sent you. Good. This person says, Demiset sent you. Good. Zevros sent you. Good. And Call sent you. Good. Other than that, I think it's all the same. Says, it is typical of your kind to band together regardless of race. Of our kind. It is especially important since those we deal with most do not discriminate in their malice if we fail to appease them or control them properly. I feel you've learned a great many things. If you're willing, I would help you create tools to complement your skills. Okay, so her answer, other than reading the name, is all the same. It's just a slight different flavor to picking up the quest depending on your race. And that takes us to part 1, components of the Enchanted Gold Blood Robe. Now, if you look at the class quests here, we have 4 steps on that, followed by Fine Gold Thread, and a 5th step for completing it, and then the completed robe. So we'll look at those as well. Okay, so we just picked up a quest also called Supplies to Auberdine. I have failed that one so many times, so I'm glad I didn't waste our time with a lot of failure of that. Where is that one? So that one is, boom, just right off the bat, pick up, turn in. And I'm glad we don't have to walk all the way to Auberdine. I'm glad he will take the supplies there for us. And this is going to, I think it's going to level us up.
Need help? You have done well today, adventurer. The items we sent to aid Auberdine will be of immediate use in dealing with the dark threats that infest the forest. Take these with my heartfelt thanks.
So an interesting offhand that lets you basically use a soothing balm on someone once every half an hour, and a male chest plate that's decent. It's actually pretty solid, but not as good as the one we built ourselves. So I'll take the lantern because it sells more. Another thing LVI does puts that careful point. Hooray, we're level 33, but we've already fished, and now I'm going to learn Sanctity Aura. It increases the holy damage. So I think because our holy damage, how much does it increase it by? By 10%. Now our overall holy damage is 70% of, so basically this is going to give us a chance that's going to be 77% when it hits, or when we unleash it, it's going to do about 8 to 9 more points of damage on an unleash, which that only happens sometimes. So overall, it's not a 10% increase to our damage. It's more close to a chance of proccing a 7% extra increase of damage, and then a 10% increase when we unleash the seal. stacking that with the Seal of Command, which gives me extra holy damage taken by up to 84. So now you tack on 10% more of that. Altogether, I think it's probably better than our Retribution aura, which is just 8 damage anytime we're struck. I think it's better. We have another quest here to pick up from someone. This little elf. Now this other guy, Firo Ironhand. I don't know what I think. Oh, he's the guy we just escorted.
There is a plant that once grew in the old ruins of Bathran's haunt to the north. The plant was called Bathran's hair and was known to cure ailments of the spirit. There is a sick child in the village, and I believe it is more than just a physical illness. Will you go to Bathran's haunt and search it for Bathran's hair? I may need it to properly treat the child. Bathran's haunt lies north of Maestra's post and just south of the border to Darkshore.
Alright, so now we're picking up Bathran's hair. But we completed that. Bathran's hair is a pretty low level quest. It's one of the lower level ones in the zone. Alright, cool. So we can actually go pick that up, I think, over there before worrying about the Rain's cleansing thing. I think that's just as... I don't think there's anything that pairs up with this Bathran's hair. I believe. I don't think so. So we can go get it real quick. Alright. So enchanted components for the enchanted gold blood robe. The first item I will ask you... excuse me. The first item I will aid you in creating is a robe. It is a pretty good robe, too. You will get... But it's hard to argue... It's arguable whether it's worth the whole freaking quest line, because this is an annoying one to complete. You will gather the items for me, and we will put them together. Afterwards, assuming you succeed, you will have the first of many items that will make you more powerful and aid in your struggles. Okay. To start, you must have crafted robes of Arcana. So, not the easiest thing to craft, and if you're not a tailor, that means right off the bat, you're going to the auction house, and those are expensive. A tailor can make this for you, or perhaps you can purchase one from someone else. I'd be most impressed if you could make it yourself. But regardless, bring me the robes and we shall go from there. Oh, this is why it's hard. Because it is expensive on the auction house. Because the recipe is a drop recipe that can basically only comes from people in the Tower of Althalax. So it's a very good recipe if you ever find it. Grinding out the recipe is annoying if you really are... Plan on spending quite amount of time grinding out warlocks or whatever in the Tower of Althalax, if that's your goal. Okay, the Bathran's hair things that we need, these guys aren't even worth XP, so I don't care about killing them. They're a little forsaken. There are these little plant bundles right here on the ground. So just kicking off this chain is annoying as heck, because even if you're a tailor, the chance of... like, my warlock is a tailor. My one that I run with my wife sometimes. So, even with that, though, and we had already done the full Tower of Althalax line, and neither one of us had that drop. So, it's expensive. I don't remember how much it is, but we're talking about... I wouldn't be surprised if one of those robes cost at least, like, 5 gold. That's it. So... You have to be very committed to wanting to complete this quest line. There's another... I'm just looking for these little bundles. These guys don't even care them in their base. So if you got lucky, and you are a tailor, or you have a tailor on your account, and you happen to get that recipe, then, okay, the drop rate, I could see that happening. If not, be prepared to spend... What is it called? Actually, let's just... I'm going to look this up right now. Let's look it up on JP Worgen. I'll tell you right now how much one costs. Okay, so it's called a Robe of Arcana. I love this JP Worgen site. Okay, Robes of Arcana. Not the pattern, just the actual robe itself. Dang it, I spelled robes wrong. Okay, the actual robes. In my current cluster, 99 gold. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't pay that. Look at this, 79 gold, 95 gold. That's redonkulous. I don't remember paying that much for it. What about... Let's look at the pattern, how much it costs. Keeps going. So the 50,000 gold on that server, 1,000 gold for the pattern. When I bought it, I don't think it was that much, but it might have been like 50 gold or something like that. So that right there is why this is a nightmare quest. Probably one of the worst ones in the game. So if that's really how much it was costing, if it was still selling for 99 gold, I'd just go grind it out. I don't care how long it would take me. It might have been like around 50 gold or something, but since I was teamed up with my wife, I think we were able to pool our gold, and she got me the quest. We got enough to buy one of the robes. But that's just ridiculous. So plan to, if you really want to do this quest, it's not unheard of to need 100 gold to get that part done. How goes your search for the robes? Have you created them yourself? Such personal touches, I find, make the imbuing of magic that much sweeter. It gives you a greater sense of accomplishment. But I understand if you choose the quicker path and have it made for you, there's something to be said for such ambition. Okay, so that's freaking ridiculous. This will do nicely. All magical items must begin with an item of high quality. The more effort and skill put into an item, the greater the magics it can hold. Rare and more expensive components hold the magic better. You will not regret having the robes fashioned into the ones we will make for you later on. Yeah, the robes are good. My little warlock who's like level 40, right around level 40, he's still wearing them. Okay, step 2 of the components of the Enchanted Gold Blood Robe Part 2. Your next task is as simple as your first, but it will require you to seek out aid. I require gold thread for the embroidery of the cloak, but gold thread is not easy to come by, and very few know how to make it. Fortunately, one who is loyal to our cause knows its secret, and is willing to help those rising in the ranks. Yeah, this part's much easier.
Greetings.
Have you gathered the Bathran's hair, Contessa? The child's health grows weaker by the hour.
Ah, you have the hair. Now I will mix a cure for the child, and pray my concoction works. And Forsaken are at Bathran's haunt? Very troubling to hear, that is. Very troubling indeed. Adventurer, I have created a cure that I believe will help the afflicted child. Take it to Astranar and give it to the child's parent, Pelturus Whitemoon. To reach Astranar, follow the road south, then east.
Mixture is finished, Contessa. Now we must save the child.
Good luck.
Alright, so we finished Bathran's hair. Let's check that one off. And then we got some kind of cure. There we go. Oren's cure or whatever. So they want us to go back there. What's our record time at? Oh, we're not that bad. I don't know why I felt like we were so bad on time, but better than I thought. Alright, so let's go over to Rane's cleansing as we check this out. Okay, this is where the little satyr wants us to, or the night elf wanted us to look into this. The night elf named Raene. Okay, bring a gold bar, so that's not that bad to get. To Zigsk Good Stitch in Booty Bay. He's a master tailor and will be happy to spin the thread for you. Gold bars are smelted by skilled miners. Ask a miner for help. So if you are a miner, not a big deal. By this level, you should probably have gold. We pretty much do on Glee Contessa. We're right there. I think we're a couple points away. And then you're already in Ratchet, so you can just hop right over to Booty Bay. Alright, meanwhile, this is where Tyrannus' corpse is for Raine's cleansing. Here's the next step. Tyrannus' corpse.
Tyrannus' body lies broken atop the island. For some unknown reason, the Murlocs have left it alone. The deep slashes across his corpse obviously came from the weapons and claws of the Murlocs. As you rummage through Tyrannus' belongings, you find a journal that is still in good condition. You take the journal and leave Tyrannus' corpse as is. The only thing left to do is find the gem Tyrannus was seeking. Raene mentioned it being in the area. Perhaps the Murlocs have it.
Okay, so we have finished the first step of Raine's cleansing and picked up step 2. Cool. So we're getting this nice early chunk taken care of. Now, killing the Murlocs right around here is what we want to do. We'll get back to reading these Murloc quests in a mo. So I guess any Murloc has a chance. I'm going to try to fight the ones out of the water. It's been a little while since we've been fighting with her. Oh, first kill. That's probably just luck on the RNG. So now we have 2 reasons to go back to Astronaut, but we're not going to do that yet. We're going to go over here and pick up the Ancient Statuette and do the Zoram Strand killing part here. But we're going to go talk to that guy that sits by the campfire that it always appears like you're tempting to kill if you're Horde. Alright. So, gold bars, yes. Bring me one and we'll see what we can do about spinning some thread for you. Until then, I would suggest you focus your efforts on becoming more powerful. Your toughest trials are still ahead, and trust me, you wish you were more prepared, regardless of how powerful you think you might be. Now, there's tin. We could probably use some of that. How's our ore? We have 9 copper only. Oh, we also have a journal we can read. So when we finish this quest, we can look at this journal. We do need to read that journal, so that's something to consider. I at least want to finish the quest we're on right now, though. The one we're reading. So we now have 7 and 9, so we're getting close to needing to loot some copper as well. We probably should. Perfect. I'm glad you could find a miner to help you out so quickly, or did you do this work yourself? Either way, you've done well. This will be perfect for the thread. It will take some time to create the stuff, so you'll have to come back. I actually sent it off to some princess who we have locked in a tower whose only job is to spin gold thread. No, seriously, I mean it. Okay, not really. Alright, then that will get us to step 3 of the gold thread. Let's read the journal first. This is Tyrannus' journal. It says it's waterlogged, but it's otherwise in good condition. I started this journal so I could keep notes on my quest to help Ashenvale. There is a mystery to some of the events that occurred not too long ago, and hopefully I will be able to unravel some of it in order to help my people. Let me start by putting down facts so they don't slip my mind at a later date. I've recently found truth to the rumors of the wizard Dartol's efforts. Where once I thought it preposterous that a human would come to our lands and learn our ways, this wizard, this evil man, came here and not only survived, but also gained some of our knowledge. I'm still uncertain how. I never discovered his goals during my investigation, but his plan seemed simple. Using druidic magic, he wanted to befriend and then control the Furbolg. If it was in an attempt to harm my kin or for some other malicious purpose, I hope to find out before my path ends. Okay, we'll pick up that journal in a minute. Let's pick up this quest from Talon.
I would charge you with a task, adventurer. I was on my small vessel, skimming over the submerged ruins of Zoram, when Naga attacked me, surging from the water and tearing at me with their claws. I fled, carrying what supplies I could to make this meager camp. But when I reached the shore and ran, my prized possession was lost. Please, adventurer, find the site of my ambush along the coast to the north and search for an ancient statuette. It is the reason I have braved the dangers of the Zoram Strand.
Alright, dude really needs a statue. So let's go pick that quest up as well. That is the remaining lowest level quest that we did not have. Okay, and if we look at the map, it is... where? Oh, it's just kind of in the middle as we work our way up north to Zoram Strand. Okay, so we'll do that. We're going to kill Naga on the way. And we're going to keep reading this book. We're on page 3. Regardless, he was apparently more successful than not in actualizing his plans. Did he want to attempt his machinations on the Furbolg before trying on my people? Did the Furbolg have something he coveted? One shot at that bad boy. Oh, we gotta have the clam opening app. Who knows? Using an item he created, a rod or staff of some kind. Yeah, these heads are easy to get. He attempted to infiltrate the Furbolg tribes of Ashenvale. At some point, this is where many of the details are still unclear. He was discovered by the Furbolg while trying to manipulate them into acting against one another. I'm just killing these guys for fun as we make our way up there to the item. Because I think there might be a second step, I can't remember on this one. As I'm sure the elves would be, the Furbolg were angered. But they reacted much more strongly and killed Dartol. The Furbolg... Oh, nice, we got that. At least at this time, weren't the same corrupted creatures they've become. They were still rational and intelligent, their relationship with our people amicable. Okay, so the thing is right around here somewhere. On the ground or something? I don't know. I'm hoping that if I can recreate the rod with the help of a dryad named Sheldrin, I can use its power to help our people and the Furbolg. Not all the Furbolg have been corrupted. There's the statue. Some still live and try to protect the forest. During their corruption, some of the Furbolgs fled. Many were killed. And others were forced out of their tribes. I found a venerable Furbolg of the Foul-Wheeled tribe living among Lake Mistral. His name is Krolg. I've watched him for days, and I think if I were to approach him in the guise of a Furbolg, I could help him and discover a way to re-establish a bond between our people. Along with killing Dartol, the Furbolg split up the rod into 3 parts so it couldn't be used against them again. It's been difficult, but I have a good idea where all 3 parts were placed. The gem. The first part of the rod, a glowing gem, was hidden in a shrine in northwestern Ashenvale. I believe now this shrine is at the ruins at the center of Lake Falafim. The sentinels tell me that it's been inhabited by murlocs now. Okay. If I can't find the gem hidden in the shrine, it might be in the possession of one of the murlocs. Alright, so I do have that. And had you not known, I mean, it said it in the quest text, but the shaft portion. This part of the rod was given to the treants near what is now called Fellwood. Neither the Furbolg nor my kind could have suspected that such magnificent creatures could ever fall to the corruption that's overtaken the land. My research tells me that the Guardians kept the piece in a small glade locked within a chest. To find out any more, I'll have to speak to Sheldrin. Alright, we'll pick up at page 8 in a minute. Have you found the statuette, the Contessa?
You found it. Thank you, adventurer. The old city of Zoram holds many secrets, and this statuette may be the key to many of them.
This statuette must
I fear
hold
the Ancient Statuette's secrets will remain forever hidden, unless you find the key to its ancient lock. That key is a ring, the Ring of Zoram.
No!
It belonged to the rulers of this city before the waves of the Sundering drowned it.
Need of your help once again.
For years, the ring was lost, but the Naga have recently found it. Their leader, Ruuzel, dwells on an isle on the northern edge of Zoram. Please, adventurer, retrieve the ring for me.
This is why I was not aggressively hunting all of the Wrathtail, because I felt like we most likely were going to have to make a trip up the coast again and kill some guys. I kind of sort of remember when we did this at a much lower level with Shalasir. It was a pretty cool episode, actually. It was pretty fun. Alright, back to reading this super long journal. Page 8. Sheldrin is a dryad who protects the Moonwell northeast of Lake Iris. She refuses to leave the forest or forsake it to the corruption. I know she has the power and knowledge to repair the rod, or to at least tell me how I can do it on my own. The pommel. The pommel of the rod was given to the druids of Dordanil. There is one major problem with this, though. The druids are dead. Their spirits now inhabit the area and are no longer hospitable. This may require more investigation. I'm not sure I'm powerful enough to fight the spirits of my dead kin, let alone delve into the depths of Dordanil and find the pommel. Note, during my preparations in Astronar, I've recently met a dwarf hunter who spent a good portion of his time in Ashenvale trying to help my people. He came from a place called Stormwind. We spoke over a few ales one night, and his tales have given me new hope of finding the pommel. He tells me he's been throughout all of Dordanil, and he's never seen a chest or any container that may hold the pommel. One-shotted that. One-shotted that little piece right there. Okay, we're heading over to the island. This is why I'm walking this way. Look, I don't know that I've seen the Mistlash Hydra walking up on the shore like that. He also tells me that rotting slimes have inhabited the area and they devour almost anything smaller than them. He's seen them eat tables, sculptures, bears, and even gnomes. The slimes seem to gain a great deal of sustenance from things magical. If the chest holding the pommel was enchanted at all, the slimes might have eaten it. It's a gamble, but I have no other clues at this time. As I find out more, I'll put the details here. But until then, I shall work on finding the parts of the rod and helping Ashenvale. Alright, so we need to kill this person. Well, it's not a person, it's a Naga. It's going to be easy for us. When we did this with Chelasir, it was like this epic showdown. We had to use every tool and a resource. Kiting as good as we could as a feral druid. Just all this different stuff, and yeah. There's more tin down there. I want that tin. I don't even remember what we need. I think there's like a padding Naga that we're gonna have to kill. Alright, so I just wanted this tin, and then we'll look for the padding trio of Wrathtail. Yeah, so I think we're on good target. I think we can finish, because remember I said my goal was to finish this chunk of the zone. Now, if we don't count that guy as being part of that chunk, I think we're in good shape. Alright, where is this lady at? She might have been recently killed. But she kind of pats all around the island. There she is. So she's got a squad of 4. But even with that, I think we're going to be okay. She's only level 22. So, oh, this quest is called Ruuzel, also BT dubs. Should probably have picked that up. Boom. Got these Wrathtail heads. Guess maybe maybe that one didn't aggro on or something. Wasn't part of their patrol. Okay. So let's kill 3 more. So that we have all the heads, and then we'll mark off Ruuzel. And then we'll run back, yeah, for this quest. Ruuzel. So we completed the Ancient Statuette, and as we run back now, we will have time to look at some of these other blood robes. I do like the 100% drop rate. I'll kill 20 of anything with 100% drop rate. Alright, so first off, let's look at the spreadsheet. We did the Ancient Statuette. Cool on us. And then that gave us the quest Ruuzel. Pick that bad boy up. And now we're going to look at the third components of the Enchanted Gold Blood Robe questline. As we go turn in Ruuzel. Return to Minara. Tell her it'll take some time, but I'll make sure to come through for her and you. Tell her you have to finish gathering the rest of your components. I should have the thread done by then. You can return and pick it up then. Good luck. Oh, and say hello to Strahad for me while you're there. That old coot. Putting a tower right there next to Ratchet. Crazy. So you have to do another step before you get the golden thing. Good, you've returned, and where is the thread? Ah, I understand. That is acceptable. The goblin and his brother have not failed us yet. I suppose it is understandable that he did not have it prepared right then. So be it. We have other things we can attend to in the meantime. Are you prepared for the next step? So that's an easy one. Just go back and say, hey, we're not done yet. We will have further work to do while he makes the gold into gold thread as we do step 4. And then it will also unlock the quest, Find Gold Thread. And if you look at the actual spreadsheet for class quests, we complete 4, and then we go back and get Find Gold Thread. So the next components are found in Desolus, far to the west of the Barrens, and even the Stone Talon Mountains. There, chaos still reigns after the Sundering. Both your strength and cunning will be tested there. You'll face creatures of hatred and also of the Burning Legion. From the Hate Fury Satyr in the northeast, bring me their blood. From the Lesser Infernals in Manarok Coven, bring me a Lesser Infernal Stone. We will use both in the construction of your robe. It's not very hard to get those things at level 31. Desolus is not a kind area. Naga, Giants, Satyr, the Burning Legion, all of those and warring Centaur clans all make the land dangerous if you're not careful. Like I said before, it will not only test your strength and cunning, but also your patience. Be wary in those lands. Be wary, I mean. Excellent. These will do nicely. I'll prepare them now while you move on to your last 2 components. Are you ready?
What brings you here?
It is said that the Ring of Zoram is the key to any lock within the city. Do you have it, Contestant?
You found the ring. Thank you, adventurer. Please take this as payment and know that your deeds today will remain forever in my memory.
Cool, bro. Alright, so we have now completed Ruuzel, which is another one down the line. Nice. So now we're going to walk back to Astronar and turn in those quests and pick up the next ones, and that's going to be where we call it for today. I think that's a good stopping point. We've completed all of Western Ashenvale as Alliance and done read these quests. So now, after you've done that, you can get the Fine Gold Thread. Here you go, and please tell Minara we say hello. We expect great things of you. Perhaps when the Legion falls to its knees, your name will be spoken aloud and in praise of your power. I can't wait. So you would basically have to just go back, and now that you've done one more step, you can pop back over to Booty Bay and get it. And then we will pick up the Enchanted Blood Robe part 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, part 5. Enchanted Blood Robe part 5. I need only 3 things now. Then we can finish your robe. First, find the fine gold thread Zizix is making for you. Return to him in Booty Bay and get it. And we could have already done that. Second, bring me 2 smoldering coals from the fire elementals in Arathi Highlands. If I recall correctly, they're to the west near Thoradin's wall. That's a little bit hard to get at level 31, but you could maybe pull it off or get some help. Finally, a soul shard created by you. Well, that's easy. After you have all the components, return here to the tower and I'll complete the robe for you. Yeah, those fire elementals might be mathematically impossible for you to kill at level 31 if you're still at level 31. That one might take a pinch of help. Soon, I promise you, the robe will be more than adequate for your needs and certainly give you an edge over your opponents. Excellent. The components are gathered and we are ready. I trust you will be pleased. Really, the hardest thing, the only thing that's really hard is that first step, which is just 100 gold and the completed robe. So do you want this enough to pay 100 gold? It's a warlock-only cloth chest, 55 armor, 10 stam, 17 intellect. Pretty solid. I will put the robe together for you now. It will take but a few moments. Do not go for it. And it does look cool. It's this black and red motif is cool. It is done. Here you are. Wear it with pride. You've worked so hard, and I see great things in your future. Remember, to defy the corruption that comes with our path takes great will and fortitude. As long as your will is your own, then you shall have great success. Awesome. Okay, so we are now, I think, 33 maybe on both our characters, but the 35 has more warlock quests, and I think maybe there's mage quests at 35. Other than that, yeah. So at 35, we'll have to check in again. But that's about it. So we have done 5 quests today, and we're about to turn in 3 more. So 8 quests. That's solid. That's actually, I typically complete on a day when I'm working from home 8 to 9 quests on my dry run. So on days when we do more than... No, yesterday I did not. Yesterday I think I completed 4, but they took so long, grinding out elites and Stromgarde. And I did a dungeon video, which that didn't take longer than this, but actually the video was probably a little bit shorter than this one that we're going to be putting out there today. But it takes so long to get a group together. So really, it takes, if you're lucky, you can get a group in like half an hour, but typically it's much longer than that. We cannot allow the Naga to invade our coasts, Glee Contessa. It is vital that you go to the Zoram Strand and complete your missions.
Very well done, adventurer. Your actions in the Zoram Strand against the Naga are commendable. I know your feat was not easily accomplished, for the strength and guile of the Naga is well known to the Night Elves. We know this, for we share a history with them. It is a history I care not to repeat. We are not in open war with the Horde, but our peace is fragile. We often find their agents moving against us, but they do so covertly. One such advance was revealed to us from hidden sources in Theramore, claiming that the orcs collect venom from the Pride Wings near Merkfallen Lake, in the Stone Talon Mountains to the south. Orc assassins then use the venom on their secret death raids against the Alliance. If this is true, then we must stop them, adventurer. We must deny them their source of venom.
Not to mention they fly on them. So we're going to be going to kill Pride Wings. It's kind of messed up. So that means we're going to be going down the Talon Deep path. So we already have this quest over here we need to do down there, but now we have another reason to go back in here to kill these guys. We could fly over there, but it's actually probably quicker to just take the Talon Deep path and then go back. So that was completing the Zoram Strand, and that also gave us the Pride Wings. So now I've completed that easy one. Pride Wings, got it. Bim bam boom. Fin fang foom. Okay, 2 more quests to turn in, and I believe they're all chains. That's how we get so many more quests for Alliance in this zone. Is there's just so much chains. I don't know why I thought of this as more of a Horde zone. I always have, but I guess it is more of an Alliance zone if you think about it. It's a Night Elf level. Alright, we haven't completed Culling the Threat, but we've done Range Cleansing 2. Welcome back, Lee Contessa.
This is terrible, adventurer. Tyronis is dead. The time for mourning will come. But for now, we must focus our efforts. I shall send some of the sentinels to recover Tyronis' body as soon as possible. You have Tyronis' journal and the gem he was seeking. Do you think you're capable of completing his task? I would rest much better knowing his death was not in vain. Del Nadris.
Yes, I do. Okay.
You'll have to do the research yourself, but from what notes Tyronis has made, it sounds like your next course of action is to find the other pieces of the rod Dartal created. I would start by heading to the Moonwell east of Iris Lake. When you're ready, follow the road and turn north when you reach a small sitting area on your left. A dryad there named Sheldrin is better suited to guide you. Seek her out. Keep the gem with you. Sheldrin will need it if she's to help you recreate the rod.
And an aggressive defense.
Before you travel to the Moonwell, I have another task that will aid the people of Ashenvale if you would like to test your skills. Along the road heading east before the Falfarin River, Furbolgs have been attacking travelers, their tortured minds feeding upon fear, and their appetites satiated by the blood of innocents. Aid the sentinels in protecting the lands by showing those monsters the same mercy they have shown our kind. I believe their camps are south of the road. Be careful.
So, I'm just talking about this workaround for Questy. It's because it is annoying. Alright, so what did we finish here? We did Raine's Cleansing 2 is now done. And she has said, go over to talk to that satyr. I think it's the one that we talked to, but luckily it doesn't really count as a breadcrumb in the typical sense. Oh no, it's not. It's this one. Okay, so it's a different satyr, not the one that we had before. But also, they've given us furbolg killing, but these are not the same furbolg. These are actually the ones that you would kill to do the den. So it's not the regular furbolg. So this is something that we can combine when we do this southern journey here. So the blood claw guy that what was that one called? An aggressive defense. So let's pick that one up too. Not that big a deal. Okay. So that's good though. It gives us another. So basically, I think this person, when you do the fix and you open up your file to directly deal with a mod, let's say you wanted to change the lines of code in a mod. So mods are typically written for World of Warcraft in C++. C++ are often code type files that are you need something that can basically deal with the lines of code as lines of code. So when I was, for instance, doing the coding, like JavaScript type code, anything like that, typically when you're working with code, you've got numbered entries, and that's how the line of code works. But you can open up the coding language other ways, say Notepad, and depending on the type of coding, that can work. Like, let's say you wanted to work on I don't know. There are ways that the Notepad so when we dealt with the lines of code to fix the Assassin's Creed, if you guys watched that, I had to do that in real time, where there was an issue with the Assassin's Creed imaging or whatever. Well, we were able to just open up in Notepad, because that's kind of how it was built, and alter a couple lines to help us with a fix. Typically that won't work. You'd need to actually dig into the code. This is getting a little bit in the weeds, and most people that play World of Warcraft probably have some familiarity, because you're probably old guys that have had to fix your games a lot like me. But essentially, you need a file that can open up the Lua, the .lua in a program, so that you can actually alter it as a line of code or enter your own workaround in the line of code, not just adding some letters in there. It's just a formatting thing. I must apologize, for I have no time to speak. My child Relara is deathly ill.
This is from Orendil. His skill with
This is the girl that sleeps with no shirt on.
This cure gives me hope, when before I had little.
This is so weird. This quest has always weirded me out so much. This girl straight up has no clothing, no shirt on. There's no way you could say she has a shirt. Or she has a complete flesh-colored, sleeveless shirt. I mean, and that's maybe what it is. It's just bad. That's probably what it is, because you can see this little seam right here. But it's basically the same color as her skin, and you can't really hardly see it, and it's all tucked into the dress up. It looks like this guy hangs out with his nude daughter, his topless daughter, and it's really weird. Here you are, Relara. Take this. And just watches her sleep and being sick. they're trying to do this. Relora White Moon drinks the cure brought by Glee Contessa. Father, are you there? I'm hungry. Can I have some stew? What? You're awake? Your cure must have worked. Thank you, Glee Contessa. But, look.
I had hoped Orendil's cure would save Relara, but I fear it only slowed the disease running through my child. We must find more powerful medicine. Thankfully, Orendil spoke to me of further remedies to try should his first one fail. Elun's tear is a type of stone that rests in only one place, the isle on Iris Lake, east of Astranar. Orendil said the stone will wash away corruption. Please, adventurer, bring me Elun's tear, and pray it will end my child's sickness.
Okay, so we finished Orendil's cure. Brought it back to him. Which means we've luckily finished out all of that, and now we've picked up Elun's tear. So that lowest kind of tier of quests is all done. We're in the kind of the middle quarter right now. We're actually a little bit worked on that, and we've actually done some of this. So we're kind of in the second quarter. But I really think maybe those will go faster. I still have hope because we spent so much of this episode prepping. So anyway, so what I said in the whisper there was basically they said I tried to work around and it didn't work. I would guess if you're doing the workaround for Questy and it's not working, that you've tried to just alter it by opening it up and not using a code opening program. There's a few. Just Google like an app or a program that can open up .lua files, and if you don't already have one on there, if you don't ever do like coding on your own. I'm just looking for a repair vendor so we can sell off, and then we're gonna go check in the inn, and we're gonna sleep. That's it for today. That guy's not a repair guy. This weaponsmith is. Actually, I probably could have just gone right into the inn. I think there's a couple in there. Yeah, this is a clothier. Okay, we don't need this. I don't think we can cook any of these. I'm a little bit bummed about this lack of cooking that we are able to do here. I don't know why we have no good recipes right now. Keep that. Clam meat's useless. I will keep that. Bam bam. We need that journal, I guess, for a while. She doesn't need fish scales. Just need that. Okay. I still have the glowing gem. I think you kind of need to keep these until you, like, build the whole console or whatever. The whole entire rod. It's kind of a weird quest line, and what happens a lot of the times is you'll do these big, long quest lines, and then it's kind of sort of anticlimactic at the end. Alright, so we'll have to kind of decide how I want to go. Do we want to go down, pick up that, and then work our way through? I think that's what I want to do. And then turn that in, and then, so in the next episode, we will make that run. And then we'll make a separate run where we come up here and do a little loop up here, where we get this, and probably even go up and get the Tome of Melthandris, even though that's really far to the north. Actually, maybe I won't do that one. Because that's actually not part of this loop. You have to go around and come up this way. So maybe we'll come up and do like this loop. And then that will continue to give us a little more stuff. I'm saving this for later in the zone. That will open up more stuff for us at that point in time. Rain's Cleansing, I think, will eventually send us a step up here, and that's when we'll accomplish that one. Oh well. But good progress, good progress. I still think there's a solid chance we can finish this zone in 2 more episodes, and we've already got all the Blackfathom Deeps quests picked up too. So again, that's kind of why this one went a little slower. We had a lot of prep work, and we actually did all the legwork setting up to run Blackfathom Deeps as well. Okay, another episode in the pipe, 5x5. Thank you everybody so much for watching, for tuning in. You are just straight rockers. And yeah, like, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and check me out next time on Lore of Warcraft.